We're here at IoT World with Chris Rittler. Chris, you're with ABB, and you guys are doing some incredible things to squeeze the efficiency out of this industrial economy that we see behind us. Why don't you talk a little bit about what ABB does?
Yeah, that's true, Ken. So I'm with ABB. ABB is a leader in power and automation worldwide. So we make industrial equipment to enable our customers to have more efficient and reliable systems. So most people don't realize that the industrial world is really where a lot of the Internet of Things is happening today. So you look at industrial applications like electric utilities, power generation plants, other industrial facilities, oil fields. All of those are full of sensors, and they're full of measurement devices, and they're all in need of processes. So you have processes for automation, processes for control, processes for measurement. All of that needs to come together. So ABB's customers are, in effect, if you put them in a group, large process control industries. So we supply everything, all the way down from the smallest sensor up to the analytics engines, the big data systems that can take all that data in and all the parts in between. And that really enables our customers to operate more efficiently and more reliably.
I mean, heretofore, these are really kind of dumb networks, if you will, because you have tons and tons of things out there, whether transformers or lights, that they really don't know what's going on, right?
Yeah, the amazing thing is the network itself, if you look at any individual component, is fairly intelligent, right? I mean, we're fundamentally talking about fairly expensive devices that provide critical capabilities to these process control systems. So they have a great deal of intelligence, and I think it's kind of the best kept secret, right? That companies that are customers of ABB tap into that intelligence, and that they leverage software and communications to do that. Now, getting more and more of those devices connected, right? Getting more of those devices to be really state of the art is kind of the bigger change we see happening in the industry right now.
Well, is there also an opportunity, though, to make these things that were kind of passive, if you will, like whether it be a transformer or a street light, to make it intelligent?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you have a lot of what I would call legacy devices out there. Some of the transformers you see out on the grid might have been around for 100 years, right? But a number of these, traditionally passive devices, as you say, have capability to measure, right? And so a lot of our customers are tapping into legacy devices using more state-of-the-art technology to then lead to the ability to do analytics and control over it.
And that's what will turn our kind of so-so smart cities into smart cities, I suppose, huh?
Yeah, it is. It is. You see everything from street lights to grid automation, distribution automation, distributed energy resource management. All of this is happening to us today, right? If you think about, if we look at electric utilities as an example, we now have all these mini power plants out there on top of our own homes in the form of solar plants, right? All of those are now feeding a grid, right? So now you need to be able to measure, you need to be able to control, right? So you gotta have this mix of legacy equipment that's been out there, and then very new equipment. A new solar inverter is out there. Now the good news is ABB, right, has been around for over 100 years and has probably provided a fair share of that equipment, and has made that migration over time, and has built control systems and continues to invest in that.
Well, and you're with the Tropos, or what was known as the Tropos Group, right? So, I mean, you're in Silicon Valley, heavily invested in the wireless part of that, right?
Yeah, so ABB has a long history in Silicon Valley, dating back to the 60s, actually, in some of its network control capabilities, which were used by electric distribution utilities. However, it's also made investments over time. The group I lead is the Wireless Communications Group, so we provide global capabilities to ABB customers to provide reliable and secure communications networks that are really kind of mission-specific or application-specific. But we're part of ABB Silicon Valley, so ABB just opened a new facility here in Silicon Valley. It really demonstrates the power of ABB. Part of our culture is business-led collaboration, right? So we look at our customers and how they're using all these different ABB products And, we bring our teams together to look at how we can service them better. Now, we do honestly operate as independent businesses, right? But when you look at a facility like ABB Silicon Valley, we have robotics there, we have solar there, we have precision gas analyzers there, wireless communications is there, and our enterprise software group is there, right? And we just opened in December, right? So expect more groups to become part of this. But, we're in the heart of it. Our North American headquarters are in Raleigh as well, which tends to be a high-tech center. About 50% of our engineering worldwide is spent on software. So we have a large investment in making all of these industrial applications smart, right? And truly the Internet of Things, services, and people, as we like to say.
Well, and I look forward to seeing that facility someday and some of those cool technologies. But some parting advice coming from the telecom world, or at least where we had met in the telecom world, any advice to operators out there as to how they might be able to be involved in these areas?
Yeah, so telecom operators work closely with industrial companies. We see, especially in the wireless space, we see the wireless telecom service providers providing services, right? At this show, we'll see companies like Verizon and AT&T, et cetera, talking about their Internet of Things. I think probably some of their most prevalent Internet of Things happens to be with electric utilities today in the form of advanced metering infrastructure, smart meters in our homes. I think that we see the continued investment from the service providers. I think there's an opportunity for the service providers to even learn more about, what their industrial customers need, right? That there are very specific needs, and quite honestly, there's legacy needs out there, right? I mean, the grid is a very reliable network that's been built over more than 100 years, right? So you need to be sensitive to the legacy because it's not going away. And you need to be moving forward quickly, like solar and wind arriving. So you got to balance both equally.
Well, that makes sense. Start with the customer's needs. So, Chris, it was great catching up with you.
Yeah, great seeing you,
Thank
Ken.
you.